As you get older, you're going to understand that one of the most fundamental and essential things for your mental health as a young man, or just a man in general, is having those experiences with females when you were younger, or having experiences with females that are authentic at any age. But once you get older, it becomes very harder. It becomes hard to calibrate your mind and try to force yourself every single day to get up, go to work, apply for jobs, try to go into school, when you don't really have the experiences in your life that really give you confidence. Let me break this down. When you're young, you have a quote unquote bright future. But if you're born into a hostile environment, if you're born with economic destabilization coming from your family, and you're born with a toxic environment, it's very difficult to develop those skills and attributes to be successful in life. And especially if you never had those positive experiences with females that every young man's supposed to have. You see, going to your prom, going to your first date, even preparation for those, buying the shoes for your first date, buying the clothes and stuff for your prom, all those help develop you into a man. All those help develop your confidence. And when you go years without having those small little things in your life that make you feel genuinely happy and genuinely accepted, it affects all areas of your life. You know, I didn't graduate high school on time, all because of that damn Cassie test or whatever the hell it was at the time. And I didn't go to prom. And these things follow you into your adulthood. They follow you and they haunt you and they torment you. Getting your first kiss from that girl, getting your first car, having people on your side that that help build you up when you want to fall, that help mold your character. But when you're always in this position where you're alone, you're isolated, you're devastated, and everywhere you go, and every single place you go, you feel like there's some type of beacon of destruction that follows you. You always got to deal with negative situations. You got to deal with negative people, and you start to wonder, like, why? Why do all these things happen to me? Why am I placed in positions where it's like my back is against the wall? Why don't I have the confidence to really succeed and get things that I want in this life? And it's simple because you don't have that much experience with women. It sounds from the outside looking in from a normie, they'd be like, what are you talking about? I'm talking about not having that confidence to really stand on your own too. Not having that confidence to really achieve your dreams because you don't have that self-esteem to do it. You lack the experience. You lack making love with that girl. You lack, after you make love, seeing her naked and you hold her and cuddle and all that type of stuff. Like, you lack that. People underestimate how much emotional attention that people need, that men need. I think it's been a scientific study that talks about how, you know, going without touch for a long time can disable a man's mind. Now, imagine a man who's a virgin after the age of 25. Imagine a man who's never had sex in 10 years. Imagine a man that doesn't get any female attention or validation. He can never ascend. Imagine a man after a certain age, you're not married, you don't have a good job, and you're trapped in this negative position. You know, after a while, people are going to start looking at you a certain way. When you don't have certain dreams and certain things accomplished, people are going to start looking at you and they're going to start wondering how come you don't accomplish these certain things and these certain tasks. And they're going to call you lazy. But it's not that you're lazy. It's just that you lack the confidence and you lack the energy to do anything. What's the point of waking up every morning if you know that you're never going to have anything to make you happy? You wake up, you go to your 9 to 5, you pay bills, you rinse and repeat. But you don't have that girl to come home to. Every man needs a girl in his life. Every man needs something in his life so he can fight for to spark that fire inside of him. Do you understand? A lot of us are in this position because we didn't have those good experiences with females when we were earlier. When we went earlier in life, we didn't have those good experiences with females, which it leaked into everything else. It leaked in trying to find a job, trying to find a career, trying to find this, trying to find that, because we had low self-esteem or low confidence. And people would tell us all the time, oh, you're not that ugly. Oh, you look like a normal guy, blah, 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 blah. But it's like, it doesn't matter what another male thinks. It only matters what females think, man. When you're somebody that you're not attractive at all, and you have to go in this world where looks are everything. Your skin color configuration is everything. Who you know is everything. When you have to be in a world like that, and people want to ignore things like that, you have to survive in a world that's based on lookism. People look and they judge you within the first couple of seconds. It's no wonder that a lot of guys who are lonely and isolated, they don't look the best. They look like, you know, troglodytes, as some people would say. They don't look normal. They look like something's wrong with them. It's because they didn't have any choice. And we don't have any choice how you look like. You're going to come out how you come out. And if you're not traditionally attractive, well, guess what? The world's going to treat you like you're a monster. They're going to treat you like you're the hunchback of Notre Dame. The world's going to treat you and mistreat you based on your looks. And that's one thing a lot of people don't understand. And it's why I say, once you get your money right, one of the best things you can do for your mind is isolate yourself from people. Is stay away from people. You know, that's one of the best things that you can do is get away from people, especially if you're somebody that you've been through a lot of shit in your life and life just keeps hitting you with these hard balls, you know? Life keeps attacking you. Life keeps having a target on your fucking back. And you don't know where to go, who to go to. And it's hard because guys in our position, we don't have that much, you know, a lot of us, we don't have no family, you know. We don't have any brothers or sisters or anybody in our family we can go to because most of the people in our family are some of the main ones who helped put us in these positions in the first fucking place. These are some of the people that, you know, not only did they want our downfall, but they help orchestrate our own downfalls anyway and take no accountability for it. When you're a man that lacks female attention and validation, it's brutal. And something that I did that, you know, I was in my feelings, you know, and I started looking at these ASMR girls that I like and I started sending them my songs, you know, thinking that, you know, these girls will hear my song and maybe they want to talk to me or email me and all that. But it's like, that's not going to happen because I'm not famous. If I was like famous like Kendrick Lamar, these whores doing ASMR would hit me up within seconds. I can just go on their channel and type and they'll be begging for my phone number. And I can just, you know, fly them over to my mansion and get them dirty dancing. You know what I mean? But it's not, that's not the case, right? And it's not that way because I'm a normal guy. And when they see me make videos like this exposing how women act, you know, women are selfish and narcissistic and they only care about looks, you know? And it's the truth. Ask Jeremy Meeks. They'll be like, damn, this guy's already on to us. Yes, I'm on to your game. I had a whole nother channel than this one where I expose female nature, you know? My bot videos, right? But something I really don't understand. How does this world expect us to keep going on and keep on trying to find our way where we're not given any type of power or authority, you know? You see, men back in the days, let's say you're back in the days of Billy the Kid or the Wild West, you can ride with your posse, you can get on a horse, you can go hit up a bank, you know? You can go to a town, you know, get the loot, you know, go to a salon, get drunk, you know, get some old-fashioned whores, you know, drink, you know, have a pistol fight, you know, like Earp Wyatt, you know, and just go wild out there in the streets. But nowadays, everything is just so safe, it seems like. What I mean by safe is like if you so much as hit somebody in real life, you know, or get in a fist fight, they want to throw you in jail, they want to throw you in prison. But men need to be men. Men need to feel strong. Men need to feel like they're in some sense of power. When you've been isolated your entire life, you've been devastated. You may have had, you know, parents who have cucked you, you know, or certain life events and milestones that you didn't achieve, such as having a woman in your life, that's going to affect your confidence as a man. People talk about manhood, but manhood, you know, when you keep being cucked in life, you keep seeing Chad and Tyrone, and you keep seeing people younger than you, that are taller than you, that are living better than you, that does something to your mentality. That takes away your virality. It takes away your confidence, and people wonder why you don't have any accomplishments. When people around you just keep on targeting you and keep on picking with you and keep on attacking you and just keep on being asses towards you, it's very hard and it's very difficult to gain any type of semblance of accomplishments or any type of semblance of independence financially, mentally, or physically, or spiritually. It's very difficult in this world to survive as a lonely guy, as somebody that you have to make it on your own. You have to make without any type of reinforcements. And when you're a lonely person, when you're by yourself, you don't have that much, support. You're going to isolate yourself, point blank, period. And this isolation is taken in so many different directions. People think you isolate yourself because you're crazy. No, you isolate yourself because you can feel the negative energy. You don't want to be loosed. A lot of us, we get loosed every single day. We get loosed farmed by this evil demiurge and his evil, sadistic, twisted, wicked minions. He looses us. There's a reason why your whole life you always wanted that girl, but you could never get her. There's a reason why in this world you always wanted peace and freedom. And every time you find that little bit, that little bit of peace, you find just a little semblance of peace. You finally, you're in a position where maybe you can neat for a couple of months. So you start to neat, get your little kush, play a little video game, watch your anime, and then something happens outside your power where boom, now you're going to be forced to find a 9 to 5. You're going to be forced to, go out there into the real world, the bad world that already has it out for you. You see, the world has it out for lonely guys. And especially if you're a guy that doesn't have a woman in his life. People, I don't know if you notice this, but notice, like, if you have any brothers or sisters or family members, notice, like, your brother who has a girlfriend, right? Notice how your dad and your mother react to him, and then how they react to you, the lonely loser who sits in his room and play video games all day. They're not going to respect you as much. They're going to think something is wrong with you. But they don't understand that women just don't want to mess with you. Women just don't want to talk to you because of how you look like. And in their minds, I think that, you're not trying, but you could be trying your hardest to try to get a girl in your life. You could be trying your hardest to try to get a girlfriend or whatever. And this world is just not going to let you have it. This world wants you to be in emotional devastation. But one thing I've learned, man, is that the more you isolate yourself away from people, the happier you're going to be. But the problem is sustaining money. Money, 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 the root of all evil. We need money in this world. You need money for everything. You need money to eat. You need money to drink. You need money to survive. You need money for your coach. You need money for every freaking thing in this world. And that's what I say, like, that's one of the greatest problems in this world. If there was a way where we could live all of our dreams and all of our fantasies, or get the things that we were denied when we were younger, life would be a lot better. But the problem with this world is it's designed in a way so you can't be happy. It's designed in a way to keep you trapped. It's designed in a way to keep you powerless. It's designed in a way so you won't be able to achieve your dreams. And how people like us are expected to go find a 9 to 5, expected to go do these quote unquote adult tasks when a lot of us didn't even, get married, had kids, and do all these life milestones, These are life milestones that a man needs to accomplish. You're supposed to meet a girl. Meeting a girl is like, what's the best way I can put this? It's like, you see this video game I'm playing now, Cyberpunk, right? Okay, the mission is find Jotaro on the screen or whatever, Jotaro. Like, when you're young, your mission is to find a girl. That's like one of your missions. Like, one of your video game missions is find a girl. Okay, that's your mission objective. Find a girl. Okay, you got the girl. Okay, next mission objective, take her panties off. Okay, that's the next mission objective. You take her panties off, and then boom, third mission objective, engage in sexual alleviation with her. You engage in sexual alleviation. Now your confidence is raised. Have you ever seen somebody that just got some coochie and some booty, and you see how happy they are? They got this pep in their step. They got this confidence. They got this glow in their skin. They believe that they can take on the world, and the world just bends to their will. That's not an accident, people. That's just reality. This reality tells us, man, that this world is cruel to some, but it's heaven to others. A lot of us would dream of being able to be the Chad or the Tyrone for one fucking day. I think a lot of us would take 10 years off of our miserable life. Like, would you have 10 years left to live, or would you have, 2 years to live like Chad and Tyrone, but then you got to pass away, or would you rather live 10 years of a miserable life? I'd rather take those 2 years as a multi-millionaire Chad or Tyrone and live every single day like it's my last. Live more in those 2 years than some people do their entire lifetime. Like, do you feel what I'm saying, man? It's so it's so demoralizing when you're in this position and you ain't got nobody to help you out, and it seems like everybody's against you. Everybody, everywhere you go, it's like people know that you're a guy that doesn't get that much females. People know that you're a lonely or isolated guy. They just fucking know. And since they know that, they're able to attack you. And then one thing about it is like, it's like flies on shit, or a predator or a predator like a lion or a tiger that goes to a deer. Like, you attract predators to you. When you're somebody that doesn't have a female and you're lonely and isolated, you attract people that are just looking for people that they can prey on. People are trying to attack you. People are trying to, position themselves above you. People are trying their best to screw you over. You get a job or whatever, and everybody at the job treats you cold, or, maybe you go to an interview and maybe you don't even get the fucking job. Maybe because, there's been like a long gap in your work history, and then they don't hire you because of that. But you would have been a good worker. But they'll hire some Chad or some Tyrone fresh out of prison, because of his looks. And it's like, what the fuck? Okay, you want me to find a 9 to 5, so I try to find a 9 to 5, and then all of a sudden you don't give me that chance. That's what I'm talking about with this world. This world has its favorites. Whatever God or whatever entity, whatever being created this, it has its fucking favorites. It favors some more than others. It favors certain people, and certain people it doesn't give a damn about. Certain people it doesn't care about. Certain people it doesn't even look at. Meanwhile, others, they're forced to be in this hellish prison that we call that we call life, and that we find ourselves in. Nobody asked to be here. Nobody asked to be in this position. Nobody asked to be lonely and annihilated and devastated. Think about your thoughts and every single thing that goes through your mind every day. Do you really like that job where you're at? Do you really like the experiences you go through every day? Hell, think about your most greatest experience you ever had, and I guarantee there wasn't a female there to share it with you, right? It's probably like, maybe getting a legendary Pokemon when you were younger, catching Mewtwo with a Master Ball, you know what I mean? Or watching your favorite cartoon or your favorite series of your anime, or getting the video game that you always wanted and you saved up for, you saved up your whatever type of bucks, and you got the video game you wanted. But it's never like, getting the girl that you really wanted and you really liked, and she liked you back and she showed you that genuine affection, and you get her pregnant, and then you have your first child, you get married, and but then once you learn about the Loosh farm and how this whole world is just a big old Loosh prison, it's hard to look at it any differently, because this whole world is just looshing you. Like, everything in this world is just for Loosh. That's why there's so much agony. That's why there's so much pain. That's why there's so much things that can make you go insane. It's all for Lucian, And you might think, that there's a chance to escape this, but let's be real. If after a certain age you haven't got the certain things that you needed in life, the chances of you actually making it and becoming successful it goes down year and year. You have to have those fundamental and essential moments in your life that gain you man experience. And what's man experience? Man experience is seeing the girl that you want and screwing her, fucking her. The girl that you want, because that's a confidence booster. If you're able to see the girl that you truly wanted and you're able to have sex with her, that raises your confidence and it raises your accomplishments. But if, you wake up every day, you go to the 9 to 5, you don't want to be there, your family doesn't have your back, hell, your own mind doesn't even have your back, and you don't have any type of support structure, you have dreams and ambitions that will never be met, that's going to destroy your mind over time. There's no way in hell that we can be in this position and just remain normal. Something's going to change about you when you go years in isolation and desolation without any type of whole rotation, without having no girls, get naked in front of you and just drop them panties to the floor and you hit it from that back door. You know what I mean? It's just, you know, I see something brutal about maybe like 3, 4 days ago. I was at this place and I seen this. Like I think they had to be like in there. They had to be like early 20s, and I seen this one guy, and I'm sitting looking, and I see like he pulls up or whatever, and he meets this girl at this park or whatever, and the next thing you know, like she gets like she was waiting there for like a good 25 minutes, 30 minutes, something like that, and then he pulls up. She gets in the car, and then like they drive to like this, like this back parking lot of like the park, but you can still see him, or at least I could still see him. And then next thing you know, I see her head going up and down, up and down, up and down. I'm like, what the fuck? And I realized, oh, she's giving him fellatio with a high ratio. And it was just right in front of my eyes. And I'm just like, damn, See, this is the shit I'm talking about. Those are the experiences you're supposed to have when you're younger. Meeting a girl and she start giving you, head inside your car. You hitting it from the back in your car, shit like that. Those experiences, because a lot of us, like, what experience do we really have like that? A lot of us dream of having, a beautiful woman on our team, and it's brutal because it's going to get worse as you age. It's not going to get better. And then, like, we got to tiptoe, we got to bow our heads, because we're not in positions of economic dominance. And what's fucked up is like I actually can rap. I actually can make beats. I actually have talent. But that's not enough. I need somebody on the outside to fucking help me, to put me in a position where I can fucking win. But when you're a rejected guy, when you're a guy that just keeps to himself, nobody wants to help you. Nobody wants to be on your side. Nobody wants to see you thrive. Everybody wants to see you suffer. It's brutal. Everybody wants to see you in a bad position. Nobody wants to see you winning. Nobody wants to see you happy. Everybody wants to see you suffer. And that's not a good thing, is it? Where you're always suffering, you're always going through it, and you want a way out. None of us want to suffer like this. We all want happiness, we want freedom, we want peace. We all want that, but we can't have it. Why? Why do we have to suffer like this? Why do we have to go through these things? Why? It makes no fucking sense. But that's just the way it is in this hell realm created by the evil demiurge and his evil archons. Brutal. Absolutely.